Okay, real talk. Best AI writing tool is the wrong thing to be Googling because there isn't one. There's no single winner here, and honestly, anyone telling you there is just hasn't used these things enough. Here's the actual problem. The tool that'll write you a gorgeous chapter of a novel, hand it 50 product descriptions and it completely faceplants. Totally different skill. So when you just grab whatever's sitting at number 1 on some top 10 list, you are basically flipping a coin. And half the time you land on the wrong tool for you, and then you pay for it every single month. So I did the annoying part for you. I grabbed all the big names and actually put them to work on the stuff you and I write all day. The quick marketing email, the newsletter, that big long thing that has to not fall apart halfway down page 4. And then I ranked them. Not by hype, not by whoever's trending this week, by what you're actually trying to write. Let's go find yours. So how'd I actually rank these? Basically 2 things. The obvious one is quality. Like, does it read like a human wrote it, or does it have that, the smell? That slightly too polished, slightly too eager AI smell. But the sneakier thing, the one that honestly decides most of this list, is how much the tool is built around a specific kind of writing. The templates, the brand settings, all the little machinery bolted around the actual words themselves. And here's why that second thing matters so much. A basic chatbot and a serious writing platform can be running the literally identical model underneath and still feel like 2 completely different tools. Same engine, totally different car built around it. And that car? That's the thing you're actually paying for. All right, let me just throw the whole lineup up on screen and then we'll get into who each one is really for. We're starting right at the top, and it's honestly not that close. The tool that just writes the best sentences is Claude. So here's who this is for. Is the writing itself the product? Like, your name's on the article, people are genuinely opening the newsletter. Then it's Claude. Every time. The stuff it writes just sounds human. You ask it to hold a certain tone and it actually holds it, instead of slowly sliding back into chirpy little AI assistant mode by paragraph 3 and dumping moreover and in today's fast-paced world all over your draft. Ugh. Oh, and it's the best editor of the bunch too, by a mile. You hand it something messy you already wrote and it tightens the whole thing up without steamrolling your voice. Keeps your argument. Keeps how you actually talk. Just quietly trims all the flab off. If you write for a living, that one feature pays for the whole subscription. Easy. Now, the catch, because there's always a catch, is that Claude is kind of bare bones on purpose. No giant template library. No marketing dashboard with 40 buttons on it. It's basically a genius writer sitting alone in an empty room. And for most of us, when the job is just writing and writing well, that is exactly what you want. Runs you about $20 a month. Okay, ChatGPT. And this is the one where a bunch of you should honestly just stop watching and go pick this instead because it's that close. On pure writing, it's a hair behind Claude. A little more generic, a little bit of a house style you start to clock after you've read enough of it. But, and this is a big but, writing is like 10% of what this thing actually does. It makes images. It talks to you. It'll chew through a spreadsheet. You can build a custom version trained on your old posts so it writes kind of like you, and then in the same breath go build you a pivot table. If your writing is squished in between 100 other little tasks all day long, this one subscription just quietly handles most of your life. So the way I think about it is dead simple. Is writing basically your whole job? Go Claude. Is writing just one of the 9 hats you're wearing before lunch? ChatGPT, all day. And the kicker is, it's the same $20 either way. So this literally just comes down to you being honest with yourself about what your days actually look like. All right, now we leave the chatbots behind completely, because this next one is a totally different animal. It doesn't even want to be your do-everything assistant. Way too focused for that. It is built for one very specific person, and that person is running a marketing team. Say hi to Jasper. So what are you actually paying for here? I'll be straight with you, it's not sharper writing. The words are about the same as the $20 chatbots. You're paying for all the machinery wrapped around the writing. Brand voice profiles that keep 6 different writers all sounding like one single brand. campaign templates, a whole library of marketing frameworks, real controls for a team cranking out content at serious volume. You dump your style guide in once, and every email, every landing page, every ad comes back on brand, with nobody standing over anybody's shoulder policing the vibe. Now, for a solo blogger, that's 1,000 buttons you are never, ever going to touch. But for a 5-person team shipping campaigns every week, it is genuinely the difference between total chaos and an actual system. And the price? It tells you exactly who this is for. The main seat runs about $59 a month. And the serious plan, the brand controls, the team features, the actual reason you'd buy this thing, that one's custom priced. You call them for a number, and that's where the real value lives. Either way, you're paying way more than double what a chatbot costs, which is a complete no-brainer if you're a business selling what it produces, and completely impossible to justify if you're one guy writing one blog post a week. Okay, this next one is secretly my favorite, and almost nobody talks about it, because it's built for a writer that the big famous tools basically pretend doesn't exist. If you write fiction, like actual stories, novels, this one gets you in a way nothing else even comes close to. Here's the thing. Go ask a regular chatbot to help with your novel, and it will fight you the entire way. It wants to tie every scene up in a neat little bow, keep it all safe, keep it smooth and pleasant and boring. Sudowrite goes the complete opposite direction. It's built for people telling real stories. It tracks your characters and your plot across the whole manuscript. It remembers your world and your entire cast. So 40 pages deep, it still knows exactly who everybody is. And when you get stuck, which if you've ever written anything long, you know you absolutely will, it nudges you toward the next beat instead of yanking the wheel and just ending your story for you. It's niche for sure. No marketer needs this. No blogger needs this. It'll run you somewhere between $20 and $30 a month, depending on how much you're writing. But if you are actually sitting down to draft a novel, nothing else on this whole list is even trying to help you the way this does. The right tool for the exact job beats the famous tool basically every time. Every time. And that leaves us with one more, and it is playing a totally different sport than everybody else on this list. Nobody is buying this one for beautiful writing. You're buying it because it's dirt cheap and because it just makes a lot. This is Rytr. So if what you need is a big pile of good enough copy, fast and cheap, product descriptions, 10 ad variations, a dozen quick blog intros, this is your value pick. And look, the words are not winning any awards. You're going to edit them. But it is built to pump out volume. The whole thing is stupid simple to use. It's way cheaper than anyone else on the board. We're talking a few bucks a month. And there's a genuinely free tier, so you can literally try it before you spend $1. You pick a use case, give it a line of context, and boom, it spits out an outline, a rough draft, a whole stack of ad variations all in one go. That is a real head start when you're staring down a content calendar you were never going to fill by hand. Just be honest with yourself about the trade here. You're buying quantity. You pay for it in polish. For a little shop flooding a catalog or a marketer testing 40 headlines, genuinely smart move. But for that one flagship article you actually care about, take that money and spend it up at the top of the board. Okay, the verdict. Forget the best one. There's your best one, right there, sorted by what you actually sit down and write. Words are the product and they've got to sound human? Claude. Writing's jammed in between a million other tasks all day? ChatGPT. Running a marketing team, trying to hold one voice across a mountain of content? Jasper, worth every penny. Writing fiction? Sudowrite, no question about it. And you just need a ton of good enough copy for as close to free as you can get. Rytr. Match the tool to the writing, and every single one of these earns its money. Match it to the hype instead, and even the best tool here turns into one more subscription you're canceling at 2 a.m. 3 weeks from now. Kind of mad at yourself. Because here's the whole thing. The question was never which tool is the best. It was always just, what do you write? Answer that one honestly, and I promise you the pick makes itself. So stop chasing whatever's got the biggest name this month and go grab the one that was actually built for the stuff you make. Now go write something. So that's the verdict. Pick the tool that wins at the one thing you actually do and skip the rest. If this saved you money, subscribe. The next verdict drops next week.